They came from the stars, and they crushed our world. But they forgot one thing. Humanity never kneels for long. The galaxy was old and quiet, ruled by 5 ancient empires who had long forgotten the meaning of war. Together, they formed the Galactic Concord, a council that believed peace came only through submission. And then, one quiet signal changed everything. A tiny planet had spoken. Earth had broadcast itself into the void. They laughed. They called us primitive, naive, loud, but curiosity demanded answers. So they sent a probe, not to greet, but to judge. They sent a probe, elegant, silent, bristling with scanners, like a god watching ants. What it saw baffled them. We were loud, chaotic, yet alive in ways they never imagined. It recorded everything: our art, our rage, our wars, our laughter. To them, it was madness. To us, it was life. But they weren't the only ones watching. Humanity noticed the watcher. We didn't hide. We answered, not with fear, but with a voice of defiance. Our message wasn't polished. It was raw, human. We are not perfect, but we are here, and we will not bow. The council fractured. Some wanted to ignore us. Some wanted to dissect us. One voice said, "Observe before we destroy." But the admiral of the Trithon Armada had no patience for curiosity. He gave the order, "Prepare the conquest fleet." They didn't send diplomats. They sent a fleet, the Trithon Armada, larger than anything Earth had ever imagined. We saw the sky darken, and for the first time in generations, humanity felt small again. And then the message came. No demands, no debate, just one ultimatum. You will kneel. You will hand over your planet, or you will be erased. You have 7 Earth days. The world's powers gathered. Some screamed surrender. Others screamed vengeance. But one voice whispered, survival. For once, we stopped fighting each other. For the first time in history, we prepared to fight as one. We didn't have shields. We didn't have fleets. But we had something they never understood: heart. We are the children of fire and iron. We do not kneel. Come and try. 7 days passed. We argued. We prepared. We prayed. And then the sky opened. They came not to conquer, but to erase. Fire rained from heaven. The oceans boiled. Cities crumbled. In hours, we lost half the planet. They targeted our symbols, our strength, our soul. But we didn't run. We roared. Outgunned, outmatched, but not outwilled. The soldiers fought. But so did the farmers, the children, the broken, the forgotten. Our heroes became legends, and our legends became dust. And still we spoke, even as we bled, even as we burned. We are still here. Earth had fallen, but humanity had not. They thought they had silenced us. But among the ash and ruin, breath still stirred. Beneath the ground, we rebuilt, not cities, but will, not weapons, but resolve. They burned our libraries, so we built one where they'd never look, filled with fire they couldn't extinguish. The Tritons believed they had won. Their ships turned into towers, their soldiers into rulers. But in shadows, the next flame was lit. Children of the fall, sons and daughters of the flame. She was only 16, but she cracked the uncrackable. She gave us a voice inside their silence. The message spread like wildfire. One word, one truth. Awaken. We struck, not to win, but to remind them we were not dead yet. The voice of Earth returned, in rhythm, in rage, in revolution. They called it defeat, but we called it ignition. We were no longer survivors. We were the Flameborn, reborn through fire, forged in ruin. We learned their science, broke it, rebuilt it, turned their arrogance into our arsenal. We trained not just bodies, but minds. Every Flameborn carried war in their blood and hope in their hands. We slipped inside their minds, into their maps, into their plans. Earth's ghosts haunted their systems. We launched Operation Emberlight, one planet, one fire, one strike. The first flame arose in the sands of what once was Syria, and for the first time, they ran from us. We weren't just fighting for Earth anymore. We were speaking to the stars. We are still here. Out of fire, a name rose. Unknown, untouchable, unstoppable. They called her Ashra, the Flameborn Queen. For too long we hid in the shadows. Now we walked in fire. The world was our battlefield. From frozen peaks to drowned shores, the earth rose in unison. Humanity was no longer one species. We were one army. They thought the fire had died, but it had only moved deeper. We didn't just reclaim our land, we took the sky, inch by bloodied inch. The plan was suicidal. So was hope. So was freedom. So we named it Operation Black Star. It stood like a god's finger pointing at our shame. We brought it down like thunder. They hit back, harder than ever. They burned forests, melted cities, shattered oceans, but they couldn't crush belief. We are not your cattle. We are not your children. We are your fire, and we will burn your sky. They looked up to conquer. We looked up to reclaim. And when they fell, the sky became ours again. They came from the stars to take what was ours. Now, we were returning the favor, on fire and uninvited. The ship was named Vengeance. It didn't carry diplomats, only ghosts. We didn't come to destroy planets. We came to make them remember who we were. This was the cradle of our suffering, the palace of parasites. She didn't bring an army. She brought history, and history was heavier than any weapon. You have two choices: surrender your empire, or bury it with you. They chose pride, we chose purpose, and the stars bled for it. He had no name in the records, only this. He lit the last match that burned their war machine down. No speeches, no mercy, no more chains. The stars were silent again, and for the first time in 1,000 years, so was our pain. What if the next time humanity doesn't wait to be attacked?